Mr. Horsley. And this will be our last question of the evening before we turn to closing statements. And we'll start with Mr. Horsley. I'd like to ask, what are your top 3 priorities for San Mateo County? So what will be your focus, and what would you like your legacy to be if you could only really focus on 3 priorities in the county? And we'll start with Mr. Horsley. You'll have 2 minutes.
Well, I think my top 3 are basically essentially what I said initially. First of all, leading efforts to stimulate our local economy, fostering green tech and biotech industries. I think we can do that. I think we have a lot of clean industries in San Mateo County. We have a number of people who are about 150,000 people a day coming to San Mateo County. We need to stimulate our local economy. At the same time, we also need to build workforce housing along the El Camino right-of-way. I really believe in the Grand Boulevard concept so we can have more workforce housing for people who work in San Mateo County. I don't want our neighborhoods disrupted. I love living in a neighborhood in San Mateo County, having grown up in Daly City and lived in Moss Beach and lived in Redwood City and where we are at today. In fact, my wife would kill me if we wanted to move. We love this area. We want our neighborhoods to stay intact. But there's a lot of development that could occur along the El Camino right-of-way. So that one of my top priorities would be working on workforce housing, stimulate our local economy, and at the same time protecting the natural beauty of San Mateo County coastline. I love this county. I love the coast. We spent a lot of time on the coast. Having been a sheriff in the sheriff's department for 35 years, I spent a lot of time on the coast. I want to see it protected. I don't want to see inappropriate planning. I don't want to see a proliferation of sprawl over on the coast side. Those are my priorities. And my last priority is, let me tell you that 1 in 7 person in San Mateo County relies on the county for health care. I want to make sure that that safety net for our residents is there for our residents, that it's not broken, that we don't end up having to close clinics, that we don't have to turn people away who are sick. Now, currently today, for example, if you are an uninsured resident and you want to see a primary care physician for the county, it's a 5-month wait.
My number 1 priority is balancing the budget. We've got to return San Mateo County to financial health, where it's going to be very difficult to make any of the other kind of advances that we need, or even to just continue to provide the kind of services that we have been and are still really needed. So I have the 7-point plan to balance the budget, which I went over earlier. It's going to involve a lot of work, and it's something that's going to have to be done soon. I'll go over that a little bit more in my closing remarks. The second thing is job creation and bringing jobs to San Mateo County, reducing unemployment, and making this an area that's not only a wonderful place to live and have recreation, but also to work. We have the opportunity to be a leader along with San Francisco to the north and Silicon Valley to the south, and a lot of the new kinds of jobs that we're going to need to create. And also to make sure that we have local small businesses here that serve our local communities. One of the great things about running is I've been to so many different neighborhoods and so many different areas of cities. They all have their unique character, and a lot of that is really intensified and enhanced when people can do business locally, stay within their communities. It really builds neighborhoods character. The last thing is we need to make sure that San Mateo County has a sustainable future, and all that represents. We can build on geotourism, protect agriculture on the coast. We need to decrease our energy use. We need to use our energy more wisely. We need to decrease our carbon footprint, and we need to make sure that the kind of development we have in this county is something that we're going to be able to live with, live in for a long time, and that we have the transportation and the services that will be required so that we can have vibrant communities, increasingly walkable, increasingly bicycle friendly, so that eventually we're getting people out of their cars using mass transit. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Vargas.